Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Weddings are meant to be joyous celebrations, a promise of forever wrapped in love, laughter, and happily ever after. But sometimes the day that should mark a beautiful beginning takes a chilling turn. These are the stories that began with vows and ended in heartbreak, proving that even the happiest days can hold the most shocking twists. Today we uncover weddings that got ceremonies cut short by the most unexpected of revelations.
Are you serious?
A monsoon wedding in the Philippines. For one couple in the Philippines, not even a monsoon flood could stop them from getting married. As torrential rains hit their wedding day, the venue quickly became inundated with floodwaters. But the bride, with a smile on her face, waded through the rising water, determined to marry her love despite the circumstances. As she made her way down the flooded aisle, the water reached up to her knees, making the walk anything but traditional. But with unwavering resolve, she moved forward, undeterred by the soggy surroundings. Guests who had gathered for the ceremony watched in awe and admiration as the bride embraced the challenge, proving that nothing would dampen her joy or the love she shared with her partner. Despite the chaos caused by the flood, the couple's wedding ceremony went ahead as planned. Their resilience and commitment turned what could have been a disaster into an inspiring story of perseverance. The flooded aisle became a symbol of their strength, reminding everyone present that love can triumph even in the most challenging of situations. What was meant to be a picturesque ceremony turned into a memorable moment, as the couple's determination to celebrate their love in the face of adversity turned their soggy ceremony into a beautiful, inspiring tale. The day was far from what they envisioned, but their wedding became a testament to their love's ability to withstand any storm, both literal and metaphorical. Before watching the next clip, check out this intense image. Emily Carter and James Bennett's dreamy Napa Valley wedding on May 8, 2012 turned into chaos when a sudden storm hit. A falling tree and flying debris injured several guests, including Emily. James and others rushed to help, and emergency crews arrived just in time. The couple later renewed their vows, stronger than ever. Know of any weddings gone wrong? Share below. The revealing video. A wedding in China took a dramatic and deeply unsettling turn when the groom chose the ceremony as the stage to reveal his bride's infidelity. Instead of celebrating their union, guests were shocked as a 5-minute video played, showing the bride in an intimate encounter with her brother-in-law. The revelation stunned the crowd, especially the bride's sister, who was married to the man in the footage and reportedly pregnant at the time. What was meant to be a joyous occasion quickly spiraled into chaos, not just exposing a betrayal between partners, but also tearing apart an entire family. The emotional fallout was immediate and devastating, leaving behind a trail of broken trust and fractured relationships. While the bride's actions were clearly a serious betrayal, the groom's method of revealing the truth sparked heated debate. Many criticized his decision to publicly shame her during such a significant and intimate moment. Some argued it was justified, a bold stand against deception, while others felt it crossed a line, turning a wedding into a spectacle of humiliation. To complicate matters further, later reports hinted that the entire episode may have been staged as part of a marketing stunt. If true, this revelation casts a darker shadow over the incident, raising ethical concerns about exploiting personal pain for attention and publicity. Whether real or orchestrated, the event ignited intense discussions about revenge, privacy, and the boundaries of public disclosure in an age where nothing seems too sacred for spectacle. The drunk bride's arrest. Amber Young's wedding day in Arizona will forever be remembered, not for romance, but for a shocking brush with the law. On her way to the ceremony, Amber, dressed in her bridal gown, caused a 3-car collision while driving under the influence. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured, but the aftermath made headlines and quickly went viral, as photos of the bride being handcuffed spread across social media. Police officers at the scene described Amber as cooperative, but the circumstances left no room for leniency. She was arrested and taken to the station for DUI processing. While there, Amber signed a legal agreement to secure her release, allowing her to leave custody and proceed to her wedding. Despite the delay and drama, she managed to make it to the ceremony, though it was far from the smooth, joyful start she had envisioned.
I feel so stupid now wearing this dress.
The incident sparked significant public debate about personal responsibility, especially on such a momentous day. Many questioned why Amber chose to get behind the wheel in such a state, risking not only her safety, but also that of others. As for her fiancé, he reportedly picked her up from the station, standing by her side despite the eventful and embarrassing start to their marriage. It's anyone's guess what thoughts ran through his mind as they moved forward with their vows. Ex-girlfriend crashes. Wedding in a gown? In China, a wedding took an unexpected turn when the groom's ex-girlfriend crashed the ceremony in a dramatic and controversial fashion. Dressed in a full bridal gown, she stormed into the event just as the bride and groom were about to share their ceremonial kiss. Dropping to her knees, the ex tearfully begged the groom for forgiveness, creating a scene that left everyone in shock. The bride was visibly devastated, and the groom, caught off guard, scrambled to manage the chaos. Guests watched in disbelief as the romantic moment turned into a public spectacle. Despite his efforts to calm the situation, the damage was already done. The bride's distress was evident, and the day's joyful atmosphere was shattered. The entire incident was captured on video and quickly went viral online, sparking a wave of mixed reactions. Some viewers expressed sympathy for the groom, who found himself in an impossible situation. Others, however, criticized the ex-girlfriend for her audacious move, accusing her of selfishly ruining the couple's special day. When the dock gives way, wedding photos are meant to capture timeless memories. But for Dan and Jackie Anderson, their wedding photo shoot took an unexpected and unforgettable turn. The couple and their entire wedding party had gathered on a picturesque dock in Cross Lake, Minnesota, eager to snap the perfect group shot. The dock, however, wasn't built to support such a large crowd. As the group crowded together for the photo, the structure gave way, collapsing under the weight and sending everyone tumbling into the water. The scene quickly turned chaotic as the bridal party and the couple found themselves submerged in the lake, their elegant wedding attire soaked through. Guests splashed and scrambled to find footing in the water.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
While the wedding photographer did their best to capture the moment amidst the unexpected mishap. Despite the initial shock, no one was seriously injured, and the laughter soon followed. The couple, undeterred by the sudden turn of events, made the best of the situation. They embraced the moment, smiling and laughing with their friends and family as they clambered back onto solid ground. The dock disaster became an unplanned but cherished part of their wedding day, turning what could have been an embarrassing disaster into one of the most memorable moments of the celebration. In the aftermath, the Andersons reflected on the experience with humor. "It's a story we'll always have to tell," Dan said, laughing. "It might not have gone as planned, but it's a memory we'll cherish forever." While weddings are often meticulously planned down to the smallest detail, this unexpected splash proved that sometimes the most unforgettable stories come from the unplanned moments. Dan and Jackie's wedding day was no exception. What was meant to be a serene moment of posing for photos turned into an adventure that everyone involved would remember for years to come. The groom who couldn't handle losing. In Uzbekistan, a wedding celebration took a disturbing turn that sparked international outrage. During a lighthearted game where guests competed to unwrap sweets, the bride won, but instead of joining in the fun, the groom reacted violently. In front of stunned guests, he slapped his new wife across the face, instantly shattering the joyous atmosphere and turning a moment of celebration into one of humiliation and horror. The shocking incident was caught on camera and rapidly went viral, triggering a wave of condemnation. Among those speaking out was Saida Mirziyoyeva, daughter of Uzbekistan's president, who called the assault unacceptable and urged the country to confront and address such behavior. The video shows the bride's friends stepping in to protect her, leading her away from the groom as he stood alone. his violent act broadcast to the world. Authorities quickly arrested the groom, who was later compelled to issue a public apology. While the legal action held him accountable, it also sparked deeper conversations about toxic masculinity and the troubling normalization of abuse in some relationships. Many used the moment to call for stronger domestic violence laws, improved education, and cultural shifts to challenge harmful gender dynamics. This incident, though deeply unsettling, served as a wake-up call. It underscored the urgent need for systemic change to ensure that respect and equality become core values, not only at weddings, but throughout society. Violence has no place in love, and moments like these remind us why that message must be loudly and clearly upheld. A dress to die for? Some wedding traditions are filled with heartfelt symbolism. Others, however, can veer into risky territory. One such trend is trash the dress, where brides ruin their wedding gowns through daring or messy stunts. Amy Zuno was excited to take part in this unconventional ritual and decided to go all out by jumping off a boat into the water while still wearing her elegant wedding dress. What began as a fun moment quickly turned dangerous. As soon as Amy hit the water, her dress became waterlogged, pulling her down beneath the surface. The heavy fabric wrapped around her like a net, making it nearly impossible for her to stay afloat. Panic set in as she fought to breathe, realizing she was trapped by her own gown. Thankfully, her husband reacted instantly. He dove in without hesitation and managed to pull her to safety, rescuing her from what could have been a devastating end to their celebration. Though the incident left Amy shaken, she later expressed immense gratitude for her husband's quick actions and even managed to find humor in the ordeal.
She's okay, she's okay.
Good.
Woo! You did it, Amy!
Despite the scare, Amy didn't regret her decision to take part in the tradition. To her, it symbolized spontaneity and a willingness to embrace life's unpredictable moments. The story became a memorable, if harrowing, chapter in their wedding day. But it also serves as a cautionary reminder that some symbolic gestures can carry real risks, especially when tradition meets adrenaline. Cultural clashes and missteps. In India, where cultural traditions are at the heart of weddings, a seemingly small misstep during a ceremony turned into a major source of tension. The bride, in a playful mood, decided to refuse a traditional ritual where she was supposed to feed her groom during the wedding. This custom, which symbolizes care and bonding, is an important part of the ceremony. However, the bride's refusal to participate was not taken lightly by her groom, who reacted with intense anger. What began as a lighthearted refusal quickly escalated when the groom, visibly enraged, flipped the table and stormed out of the venue, leaving guests stunned and speechless. The wedding, which was meant to be a celebration of love and unity, suddenly took a turn for the worse as the groom's dramatic outburst created an uncomfortable atmosphere for everyone present. This incident highlighted the sometimes delicate balance between personal preferences and cultural expectations. While the bride's actions may have been intended as playful or humorous, the groom's reaction showed how deeply cultural rituals can be rooted in tradition and expectation. What might seem like a minor act of defiance from one party can trigger a major emotional response from another, especially when long-standing customs are involved. For the guests who witnessed the event, it was a jarring moment that turned the wedding from a joyous occasion into an awkward and memorable one. The bride and groom's disagreement reminded everyone that, while cultural traditions play a central role in many weddings, they must also be approached with understanding and respect for the feelings of all parties involved. Not amused at the amusement park. Beck Stone and Richard Johnson dreamed of a magical wedding day at Luna Park in Sydney, Australia, a place filled with cherished childhood memories. They envisioned a celebration of love and nostalgia at the iconic amusement park, hoping to begin their married life surrounded by joy. Unfortunately, their dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Despite spending over $20,000 for the venue, the couple faced a series of setbacks. Guests were disappointed when the food served was reportedly undercooked, creating frustration among the attendees. Reserved sections meant for the wedding party were allegedly overtaken by park visitors, disrupting the flow of the event. As tensions rose, the situation escalated when fights broke out between wedding guests and park goers. adding chaos to the already challenging day. To make matters worse, Beck and Richard felt mistreated by the park staff, with suspicions of regional bias clouding their experience. However, Luna Park management claimed the wedding party was unruly, sparking a heated debate over who was truly at fault. In the end, the couple was left heartbroken. What was meant to be a joyous celebration became a bitter ordeal. Their dream wedding, filled with anticipation, was marred by frustration, disappointment, and regret. Instead of a day of happiness, Beck and Richard were left to reflect on how their special moment was overshadowed by a series of unfortunate events. The bride and the cannabis cuisine. A Florida wedding took an unexpected turn when a bride, Das Svoboda, and her caterer decided to spice up the event illegally. Without informing the guests, they laced the wedding food with cannabis, turning what should have been a joyful celebration into a chaotic ordeal. Unaware they were consuming THC, guests began to experience alarming symptoms, including nausea, hallucinations, and severe discomfort. Some became so disoriented they accused family members of outrageous actions, further escalating the confusion. Instead of laughter and joy, the wedding was marked by panic, with multiple attendees falling ill and complaining. The ill-conceived prank quickly unraveled as the consequences became apparent. When guests realized they had been drugged, authorities were contacted, leading to the arrest of both the bride and the caterer. They faced charges of negligence, tampering with food, and illegal drug delivery. A stark contrast to the festive atmosphere they had intended. Instead of bringing people together, the bride's reckless decision created a haze of embarrassment, anger, and legal troubles. What started as a celebration ended with lingering distrust and shattered bonds among the attendees. Unwanted wedding crasher. Florida is no stranger to bizarre stories, and the tale of Gloria, the uninvited wedding guest, fits right in with the state's eccentric reputation. On what was supposed to be a joyful day, Gloria crashed a couple's wedding without an invitation, managing to blend in just long enough to enjoy the food, drinks, and entertainment. At first, her presence went unnoticed, but it wasn't long before things took a chaotic turn. Gloria's behavior grew increasingly erratic. She began interrupting conversations, making loud, awkward comments, and drawing unwanted attention. Hoping to avoid drama, the bride and groom initially tried to ignore her, but Gloria refused to tone it down or leave, despite being asked several times. Eventually, the couple was left with no choice but to call the police. The situation peaked when officers arrived and led Gloria out in handcuffs, leaving guests stunned. What started as a serene celebration turned into a scene worthy of a reality show, with guests whispering and recording the spectacle on their phones. Though shaken, the newlyweds managed to regain control of the day and continued with the festivities, determined not to let the disruption ruin their moment. Gloria's dramatic exit quickly became the talk of the town. Her mysterious ability to sneak into the event raised questions about wedding security and sparked conversations about the strange lengths some people will go to for a free party. In the end, the couple chose to laugh it off, turning the bizarre incident into a memorable anecdote. Gloria may have disrupted their wedding, but she also gifted them a wild story that would be retold for years, adding one more strange chapter to Florida's ever-growing book of oddities. Trapped in elevator, stuck on love. After their wedding at the Grand Bohemian Hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina, a newlywed couple and several guests found themselves in a situation no one could have predicted. While heading to the 16th floor for their after-party, the elevator suddenly stalled, trapping the group inside for hours. What began as a night of celebration quickly turned into an unexpected ordeal. Dressed in their finest wedding attire, the group was forced to make the most of the cramped space while waiting for help. Though uncomfortable and delayed, the group kept spirits high, joking and laughing to pass the time. Still, the incident put a noticeable pause on the night's planned festivities. The drama escalated when firefighters arrived with a daring plan. In a remarkable rescue effort, they rappelled down the side of the building to access the stuck elevator and safely remove its passengers. Fortunately, no one was injured and the rescue was a success. Despite the disruption, the newlyweds chose to embrace the moment. Instead of frustration, they leaned into humor and optimism, calling the elevator mishap an unforgettable start to their marriage. The couple's positive outlook turned what could have been a wedding disaster into a memorable story of resilience and unexpected adventure. In the end, while the party may have been delayed, the love and laughter continued, just with a bit more suspense than planned. Weather woes. Outdoor weddings are often sought after for their natural beauty and romantic ambiance, but as one couple learned the hard way, they can also be a risky choice. The couple's special day took a disastrous turn when a sudden storm hit their outdoor wedding venue, causing the tent to collapse.
Hey, McCurdy, make yourself useful.
The tent, which was supposed to provide shelter, turned into a hazard, with poles crashing down and causing chaos among the guests. The storm's strong winds and heavy rain overwhelmed the tent, leading to the collapse, which injured several guests, including a pregnant woman. The frantic scene unfolded as people scrambled to escape the falling debris and seek shelter from the storm. The injuries, though not life-threatening, added to the chaos and left the couple and their guests in shock. Looking back, many felt the tragedy could have been avoided if the wedding organizers had paid closer attention to weather warnings. There had been reports of an incoming storm, but the wedding continued as planned without the necessary precautions to ensure safety. Had the organizers made the decision to relocate the event indoors or postpone it, the incident could have been prevented. In the aftermath, the couple, devastated by the events of their big day, found themselves caught in a legal battle. Several guests filed lawsuits against the hotel for negligence, claiming the venue should have done more to prepare for the inclement weather and ensure the safety of attendees. The couple also vowed to never again trust outdoor setups for any future events. The pandemic nightmare. Weddings are typically a joyous occasion, but during the global pandemic, they became fraught with risk and uncertainty. One such tragic example comes from Ohio, where a wedding became a nightmare that would haunt the newlyweds and their guests for months to come. What should have been a celebration of love and union quickly turned into a cautionary tale as over 30 attendees, including the bride and groom, fell ill with COVID-19 shortly after the event. Despite the couple's best efforts to adhere to safety protocols, providing masks and hand sanitizers throughout the venue, most of the guests ignored these precautions. The event, which included dancing, mingling, and close seating arrangements, created the perfect environment for virus transmission. Though masks were made available, many guests either refused to wear them or wore them improperly. Social distancing was not observed, and the festive atmosphere led to a relaxed attitude towards safety measures. The consequences were devastating. Within days of the wedding, the virus spread rapidly among the attendees. The bride and groom, along with their friends and family, began showing symptoms. The couple's grandparents who had attended the wedding were among those most affected and were hospitalized due to severe symptoms. The couple's joy quickly turned into a deep sense of guilt, knowing that their celebration had led to such serious health consequences. Looking back, the couple reflected on the event with regret,
maybe the super spreader is the dance floor.
Hoping that their experience would serve as a warning to others planning weddings during the pandemic. They emphasized that while weddings are a time for celebration, the safety and well-being of everyone involved should always come first. Surf's up in Hawaii. Hawaii is often the dream destination for couples seeking a tropical paradise for their wedding. The stunning beaches, crystal clear waters, and picturesque sunsets create the perfect backdrop for a romantic ceremony. However, for one couple, their destination wedding took an unexpected twist when nature decided to make its presence known. During their outdoor wedding ceremony, a powerful storm brewing off the coast caused historic ocean swells to crash onto the beach. As the waves grew larger, the couple, their guests, and the wedding officiant could only watch as the waves, some reaching over 6 meters, surged toward the shore. The force of the water disrupted the ceremony, sending chairs flying and forcing everyone to scramble for cover. Despite the chaos, the couple and their guests were lucky that the waves weren't the largest recorded that day, which could have caused serious damage. The wedding party had prepared for a beach ceremony, but the sight of waves crashing at such an intense scale was far beyond anyone's expectations. The water didn't cause any injuries, but it was impossible to continue with the ceremony as planned. Though the incident interrupted the day, the couple and their guests handled the situation with good humor. Instead of letting the massive waves ruin their celebration, they embraced the moment, turning what could have been a disaster into a memorable part of their wedding story. Guests laughed and made jokes about the uninvited surprise guest in the form of nature, capturing photos of the wild scene. In the end, the couple reflected on how the unexpected event made their wedding even more unforgettable. While they had come to Hawaii for a perfect day, it was nature's wild display that left them with the most incredible story to share for years to come. Their wedding was no longer just about the vows, it was about weathering the storm, literally. Hangry chaos, the brawl at an Indian wedding. What should have been a celebration of love turned into chaos at an Indian wedding reception when a food shortage led to a wild brawl among guests. With free-flowing alcohol and empty stomachs, tensions quickly escalated, and the hungry guests became a volatile mix of frustration and inebriation. As the guests waited for their meal, the atmosphere turned sour. What began as murmurs of displeasure soon exploded into anger, and before long, people were throwing plates and shouting at each other. The situation quickly spiraled out of control as the guests, driven by hunger and alcohol, clashed in a chaotic brawl. Tables were overturned, food was scattered, and what should have been a joyous occasion turned into a spectacle of destruction. The fight became a reminder of how important proper planning is, especially when it comes to food at large events. The couple, who had intended to host a grand celebration, ended up witnessing their wedding day transform into an unforgettable, albeit bizarre, disaster. Though the incident was chaotic, it also served as a humorous yet cautionary tale about the need to consider the basic essentials when planning an event, especially something as significant as a wedding. Proper planning and ensuring there's enough food to go around might seem like an obvious detail, but this wedding proved that even the smallest oversight can turn a joyous occasion into a disaster. The ballroom blitz, chaos at Canada. What should have been a night of celebration turned into chaos at a Canadian wedding when a bar brawl erupted, leading to the arrest of both the bride and the groom. The couple, who had been enjoying their special day with friends and family, found themselves at the center of a wild altercation that quickly escalated into a full-fledged fight. Videos taken by stunned onlookers captured the bride, dressed in her wedding gown, wildly swinging her fists as the melee unfolded around her. Guests scrambled to break up the fight, but the scene grew more chaotic by the second. The groom was also involved, and the authorities were quickly called to the scene. It remains unclear what sparked the brawl, though some speculate that alcohol and heated emotions played a role. Regardless of the cause, the couple's actions led to their arrests. The bride was charged with assault, while the groom was arrested for mischief. The two were escorted out of the venue, handcuffed, and taken to jail, marking an unexpected and unfortunate twist in their wedding day. The couple's night in jail would become an unforgettable chapter in their wedding story. While they may have been caught up in the chaos, the memory of the incident will likely follow them for the rest of their lives. For everyone involved, the night took an unexpected and dramatic turn, highlighting how easily even the happiest of occasions can spiral out of control. The bride and groom will likely look back on their wedding day with a mix of regret and disbelief, knowing that their big day turned into a night they could never forget. A tragic wedding in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, known as the City of Brotherly Love, became the backdrop for one of the most chaotic wedding disasters in recent memory. What was supposed to be a joyous celebration quickly descended into chaos when two wedding parties clashed at a hotel bar. The situation escalated rapidly, turning into a massive brawl that involved nearly 100 people. The fight spilled across the bar, with guests from both families throwing punches and shouting at each other. Chairs were overturned, glasses shattered, and the tension in the room was palpable. The chaos intensified so much that the police had to be called in to restore order. As authorities arrived and tried to break up the fight, the scene was captured on video, spreading across social media and leaving people stunned by the spectacle. Tragically, the violence of the brawl led to a heartbreaking outcome. During the altercation, one of the bride's uncles suffered a fatal heart attack. The stress and shock of the fight, combined with the physical exertion, proved too much for him. His sudden death cast a dark shadow over what should have been a celebration of love and family. The heartache caused by the loss of a loved one during the chaos overshadowed the ceremony, leaving a sorrowful mark on the bride, groom, and everyone who had gathered to celebrate. When nature calls loudly. In the Philippines, a couple's dream wedding turned into a dramatic scene when a powerful typhoon unexpectedly struck just as the couple was about to begin their first dance. The storm, which had been building for hours, suddenly intensified, unleashing heavy rain, strong winds, and fierce gusts of air. As the newlyweds took their first steps as married couples, the storm hit with full force. Within moments, the power went out, plunging the venue into darkness. Windows shattered from the intense wind, and the noise of the storm drowned out the music. Guests were thrown into a state of panic, scrambling to find cover and ensure their safety. Despite the destruction and the frightening conditions, miraculously no one was seriously harmed. The wedding party and guests banded together, trying to stay calm amid the chaos. Though the storm wreaked havoc on the celebration, the couple remained positive, determined to make the best of the situation. Even on the most significant days of life, the disruption caused by the typhoon was a potent reminder of how unpredictable nature can be. No amount of planning could have prepared the couple for such a dramatic turn of events, and yet they handled the ordeal with grace. The wedding was forever marked by the storm, turning what could have been a disaster into a story of resilience. A floor that couldn't hold up. Weddings are meant to be celebrations of love and joy, but for one couple in China, their special day quickly took a terrifying turn. During their ceremony, as guests were seated and the couple exchanged vows, the floor beneath them suddenly gave way. In an instant, the venue's floor collapsed, sending several guests, chairs, and tables crashing into the hole that appeared beneath them. The scene was chaotic. Guests screamed in surprise and confusion as the floor buckled, and the loud noise of falling furniture added to the panic. Fortunately, the guests who fell were not seriously injured, though some sustained minor bruises and scratches. The quick action of those around them helped prevent any major injuries, but the shock of the collapse left everyone shaken. The bride and groom, initially stunned, were quickly escorted to safety while the wedding party and guests checked on each other. Investigations into the cause of the collapse revealed that a water leak had been slowly weakening the structure of the venue over time. The prolonged exposure to moisture had caused the foundation to deteriorate, making it unsafe. Unfortunately, the issue had gone unnoticed before the wedding, leading to the disastrous collapse. Though the wedding ceremony was dramatically interrupted, the couple and their guests managed to regain composure and carry on with their celebration. The wedding, though undoubtedly shaken, continued, albeit in a less traditional setting. The couple decided to focus on the positives, laughing off the disaster as something they would never forget. Weddings are meant to mark the beginning of a lifetime together, but for some, they ended in horror no one could have predicted. These tragic tales serve as haunting reminders that even life's happiest moments can unravel in an instant. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos.